Hey there, Shrine Runners! Hello, and welcome to the Fox Shrine. I'm Araxis, your host, and today we are going to be playing some more Please Be Happy. Hey there, Callista. Hey, TVPG. Hey, Tiberius, welcome. Hope you're all doing alright. I spent most of last night playing some Terra Invicta, and as I expected, I ended up staying up a little bit late. So, I've only been up for about a half an hour or so, but I don't care. I don't have work today. I get to do my stream, and I played a fun game then, and I'm going to be playing a fun game now. So, let's get into it, shall we? Alrighty then. Let's go. Now, let us...
Oh, you didn't finish this one!
No, I didn't. That's why we're doing it now. Alright. So, chapter 3. Let's load over here. And we did indeed have to decide on something. And we're going to try things with Aspen. We are going to try and see how things go here.
I want to try things with Aspen.
Might as well give things a shot, right?
I know it'll be hard, but I want to try.
I feel more sure of the words as I say them. Something about this decision feels right. I do want to try. Like Aspen said yesterday, it's out there now, and I can't take it back.
I know she's a human, and so... someday it'll hurt. But I can't just always run away from things that are painful. Because... if it hurts, that means it was important, doesn't it?
Maybe we can ask if she can get turned into a vampire as well, right? It works that way, right?
It certainly does. That's a wise way to think about it.
I know I don't know much about love, or how to be in love with someone. But I'm willing to learn, and try.
That's a good attitude to have. As someone who doesn't know much about love or how to be in love. Because that's just not for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. As I speak, I feel something stir in my heart. That feeling of excitement that's pushed me forward so many times before. Kept me motivated in my lifelong search. Is that the feeling that could grow? I've always struggled to put a name to it. Could it be...
Trying is all anyone could ask of you, Aspen or otherwise. All you have to do is be yourself. That's who Aspen fell in love with, after all. I can't tell you how happy I am for both of you.
As it begins to sink in, I feel a grin spreading across my face. Aspen is in love with me! And I think that maybe, just maybe, I could be in love with her too.
Thanks. I wish she was here, so I could tell her right now. Tomorrow seems so far away.
I'm certain she's thinking the same thing. Still, it is rather like her to say something so momentous and then disappear.
If it makes you feel better, it's probably worse for Aspen right now, because you know your decision, she doesn't know your decision, so she's probably panicking over at her parents' place going, oh my god, what's Miho gonna say? What's Miho going to say? I shouldn't have done this!
It took quite a while for her to work up the courage to tell you.
With a wink, Juliet lifts her teacup.
I wouldn't be surprised if she borrowed the idea from some book or another.
Any idea which book it might have been?
Yeah, you're probably right. And wait, You knew she was gonna tell me?
That's what Juliet's implying.
Not exactly. I've known for a long time that she held feelings for you. She never told me outright, but Aspen isn't particularly subtle.
I never noticed. But I guess I don't know what I would have been looking for either.
All that's important is that she was able to tell you how she felt, and you were able to accept those feelings. Anything along the way was but a means to the same end.
Juliet's right. Not just about Aspen, but about my life in general, as she herself pointed out not that long ago. I thought it had all been for nothing. Pointless ever since Zhang Yin died without my knowing it, as if I'd reached a dead end myself. But that was just the end of a chapter in my life, not the whole story, as Aspen would say. I had thought my life as I knew it was ending, and maybe that was true. On the other hand, I feel like a new life for myself is just beginning. One that isn't so solitary and lonesome. Nearly every day, I discover something new about myself. Things I used to think were impossible, at least for someone like me. Maybe I'm not so different after all. I've found a new place to belong, and someone new to share my life with. As much of it as I can. Aspen, who's seen just as many different sides of me as I have of her, and who still chose to tell me she loved me, even though she'd never told anyone that before. Wait for her to get back, so we can find out what's next together. With nothing more to really say about it until Aspen returns, Juliet and I move on to talking about other things, like the library and recent events. I feel pleasantly warm, like I'm glowing as we sit there and chat. That sensation carries me through the rest of the evening and all the way to bed, where I lie for hours. Usually I'm frustrated when the chaos of my own thoughts stops me from falling asleep. But for the first time ever, excitement rather than fear is what keeps me awake. Instead of just waiting for the day to end, I close my eyes, looking forward to the dawn of tomorrow, where Santa Claus arrives. For once, my struggle to fall asleep worked out in my favor. I sleep until later than usual the next morning, meaning I don't have to wait as long for Aspen's bus to arrive. I've barely even woken up. I'm already thinking about her. Looking up at the ceiling, I can't help but smile. I wonder if she's thinking about me too. I'm too full of nervous energy to stay in bed for too long, so I hop up and get ready in a hurry. In the kitchen, I figured Juliet must have already eaten, cleaned up, and gone to bed, because I don't see any dishes or leftover food. To my surprise, she comes downstairs just a minute after I do.
Good morning.
Hey! I didn't wake you up, did I?
No, not at all. Although I was upstairs, I thought I'd wait and have breakfast with you like usual.
Sounds great.
Oh, thanks. Sorry for keeping you waiting. I kind of fell asleep late, so I slept in too.
I know that feeling.
Understandable. I'm sure you have lots on your mind.
You can say that again.
I take my seat at the table while Juliet pokes through the fridge.
Are you hungry for anything in particular?
Bacon!
Not really. Maybe something light? I don't think I can finish a big meal right now.
Fair enough. Chuckling, Juliet retrieves a couple pieces of fruit and some cheese. Also good choice. You have some, like an apple and cheese sandwich is definitely underrated.
Butterflies in your tummy?
Nah, I haven't eaten anything. I'm just nervous.
I'm sure I would be too, in your position. Although, Aspen did the difficult task of taking the first step. You have the luxury of being the one to respond.
Aspen's still waiting.
That's true.
Juliet sets a platter with slices of apples and oranges, while there's a few blocks of cheese on the table between us, and I idly munch on some fruit.
Do you want to come wait at the station with me? I'm leaving after we're done eating.
I'll pass, but thank you. The two of you will have plenty to talk about on your own, I'm sure. But I imagine I'll see you both later tonight?
You don't want to watch us get together?
Definitely.
The minutes pass by agonizingly slowly, especially after Juliet goes to bed, but eventually it's late enough for me to leave. I burst up out of my seat, forcing myself not to walk too fast. As long as I'm walking, doing something. If I get there too early, I have to wait, and I hate waiting. Coming to myself, I follow the same route Aspen and I took yesterday. If I wanted to, I probably could have found a faster way, or even a longer way to kill more time. It's not worth the risk of getting lost, though. Don't even know if you got a phone. The closer I get to the station, the faster my heart races. The growing anticipation. I can't think about anything else. It reminds me of something. Something I haven't experienced in ages. It reminds me of days in the forest, towards the end of my time as a regular fox. The way I felt on the way to the clearing every day to see my person. Back then it was different, of course. More instinct, less thinking. But it still pushed me forward. That was love, wasn't it? In my own way, just like Juliet said. Usually, something like that would stop me in my tracks, but today, it just makes me smile. My good mood carries me the rest of the way to the bus station. I pause at the intersection where we stood yesterday, when Aspen said everything. This spot will be special to me forever. Already know. I hurry across to the other side. There are a handful of other people waiting, standing or leaning against the fence. I sit down on one of the empty benches, practically buzzing with anticipation. I watch the clock as it continues to tick away till finally the scheduled minute comes. And there's no bus. I sigh, disappointed but not too surprised. Since when are buses ever exactly on time anyway? Soon the bus is a couple minutes late, and then 5 minutes, and it gets harder and harder not to worry.
Good thing she left early.
I notice that I'm not alone. Some of the other people waiting are beginning to get agitated too. One person stands on the edge of the sidewalk, peering in either direction. A couple others, who have been waiting in the boarding zone since I got here, sit down on one of the benches near me and pull out their phones. Taps a few times, reads something, and then groans. Let's hope it's not delayed past the 24-hour mark.
Told you. Delayed. Says it right here.
Guess I owe you a tenner. It say how long?
Nope. Just says delayed due to vehicle issues.
Looks like we're going to have to run to catch the bus. Dread seizes me. With a shaky hand, I tap one of the travelers on the shoulder.
Excuse me. Which bus is it that's delayed?
Ah, that be Route 4. You waiting for it too?
My friend's on it. I don't know which, but she was supposed to be here 10 minutes ago.
Aye. Well, probably the same one then. Bad luck, but it does happen every now and then. I hope you weren't in a hurry.
I was, actually. Do you know what they'll do? What'll happen to the people on the bus?
Well, I imagine the city will have to send someone out, figure out what's wrong, fix it, or send a replacement. I'm sure your friend will get here one way or another, but it could be hours. You might want to give them a call and find out where they are. Might be quicker for them to find their own ride home.
I vault off the bench before he's even finished speaking, dashing back the way I came.
Hey, good luck.
Thank you, bus traveler. I barely hear him. Of all the buses to break down, of all the days for it to happen, as I run, I can't help but think about how unfair it is. For anyone else in the world, a couple-hour bus delay would be annoying, but that's it. But for me and Aspen, I don't even want to think about what it would be like if she forgot me. After getting back to the library in record time, I practically crash through the doors as I head upstairs. For the second day in a row, I knock on Juliet's bedroom door, before having to bend over to catch my breath. It's been ages since I've run that long, and it shows. Juliet answers the door quickly.
Miho? What's wrong?
I need your phone!
Aspen's bus still isn't here. Someone at the station said one of them broke down on the way. What if it was hers?
Wordlessly, Juliet hurries to retrieve her phone. It looks weirdly out of place in her hands as she navigates through several screens, slower than Aspen would. Her face turns grim after only reading for a moment.
It seems you're right.
The confirmation just tightens the knot in my chest. I just barely manage to croak out a question.
What do we do?
Video chat?
How long do you have left?
2 hours. A little less.
She shouldn't be too far away. I'll try calling her.
It doesn't even ring, and instead goes straight to a voicemail. I look up at Juliet helplessly, trying to ignore the panic that'll overrun me if I let it.
She did say that she'd have poor reception en route. Here, Miho. Keep trying. I'll be back in a moment.
She hands me the phone and shows me how to use it before hurrying into her bedroom. I hit the button again, staring at the small contact photo of Aspen that Juliet has saved. It's a picture of Aspen at the breakfast table, smiling awkwardly. The voicemail message starts again. I cancel and try it again, and again, and again. But it's the same result every time. I end the call and start another one for what must be the 6th or 7th time.
Juliet, is that...
My thumb is on the end button out of habit, and I barely manage to stop myself from pressing it.
Aspen!
There's a loud burst of static.
You?
Aspen! It's me! Where are you?
Juliet comes back out when she hears me, waiting anxiously by my side. Aspen says something again, but it's garbled by the connection.
What? I can't hear you!
Fucking reception. Let me...
Fucking reception! Everything goes quiet, and for a terrible moment I'm afraid that the call has dropped.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Instead, I nearly drop the phone when her voice comes through again, much clearer this time.
Good. I can't move from this spot then. It's the only place I have service.
Where are you?
God, we're so close. I can literally see the city in the distance. Something's wrong with the bus, I don't know what. They said there's another one coming to pick us up, but I'm not sure when it's supposed to be here.
We only have 2 hours before.
I know. Trust me, I know. I was hoping the replacement would be here sooner, but that's not going to happen.
Aspen, you said you're close. Do you know where exactly?
I don't, no, but there's just the one road into the city, and I can see it. That's what I'll do, actually. I'll start walking towards the city, and hopefully I'll see the other bus on the way.
I mean, it won't stop for you.
Will that work?
I don't know. I'm going to do it anyway.
Juliet and I look at each other. I wonder if she has the same thought I do.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming too.
What? Coming where?
Wherever you are. You said it's just one road, right? I'll meet you on it.
And hopefully we don't get ambushed by the other Gumiho along the way.
You'll... Okay, I understand.
I'll be there on time. I promise.
Also, Aspen, start writing down all your memories with me just in case. So that way, like, hopefully you'll be able to, like, preserve things if we don't meet each other in time. Like a dying message to yourself. From the other end of the line comes a very clear sound of Aspen sniffling.
Okay, I'll see you soon. As soon as I start walking, I'll probably lose reception again. I'll try to call you when I can.
Okay. Okay, I'm on my way.
The line clicks dead, and I try to hand Juliet her phone back, but she shakes her head.
Hold on to it. You can bring it back to me after you find her.
I nod. There's no time to talk about anything else.
How do I get there?
Juliet pulls up a map and shows me, pointing out where the library is.
I was going to try to find a taxi. Between traffic and everything else, I'm not sure it would be faster. It's so far away though, Miho. Are you sure you'll be alright?
Is traffic really that bad? I don't know.
I will. I have to be.
I immediately make for the stairs, pausing for just a second.
Thanks.
Thank me later. Together.
I nod, and then I transform as I bolt out the door. Foxes can't run as long as humans can. They can run faster. As a Gumiho, maybe I can do both. Wind whips at my tails as I rush forward, channeling whatever willpower and determination I can into running. The map Juliet gave me showed which roads to take to get out of the city, but I don't need roads. I ran straight to the edge of town, dodging traffic, pedestrians, and more. Dogs bark as I race through their yards. Shocked people gape as I dash past them without paying any attention. Even know how long I run for, I just know that I don't stop. Even when my legs and chest start to ache, I keep going. A little pain now is nothing compared to what losing Aspen would be like. The buildings begin to thin out, even as traffic increases, and finally, I find myself out of Wellington. Following the road, I race towards where Aspen must be. Cars and trees fly by, replacing the buildings and street signs. There are hills and forests that I'm sure are as beautiful as everything else I've seen, but I hardly notice them at all. Hey there, Kuro! How you going? The longer I run, the more it starts to take its toll on me. Against my will, I can feel my speed flagging, each step taking just a little more effort than the last. I push this form to its absolute limit, and eventually it brings me to a halt. I change forms once again, gasping for air as I place my hands on my knees, trying to catch my breath. Run from the station back to the library winded me. This was many times harder. But I can't stop moving. I have to keep going. 2. Lungs on fire, and with my legs feeling like lead, I make myself take another step, and then another. Mustering all my strength, I break into a jog, the fastest I can manage. I keep my gaze set on the horizon, hoping for a glimpse of her. Anything to set my heart and mind at ease. Anything. The sun begins to dip even lower, as if even the sky is reminding me that time is running out. All right. Hello, Kuro's friend. Hope you're doing well. My steps are leaden, and my mind abuzz with wordless fear and worry. Though it's amusing that you're hanging out with a friend and watching my stream at the same time. Pay attention to your friend. At first, I don't believe my eyes when I finally spot someone walking in my direction, far off in the distance. Please let it be her. A steady trot is all I can do by now, and I let even that slow to a normal walking pace. Yeah, no problem, Tiberius. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you sleep well. The other figure and I walk towards each other. The sun shines in my face and obscures them from vision. Raising one hand to shield my eyes, I see a familiar hat, the glint of light on familiar glasses. I see Aspen running towards me. All I can do is stand there, overwhelmed with relief so intense that all I can do is shake. I made it. She's here.
Miho!
Okay, he's driving. So make sure you pay attention to the road, alright? Don't get distracted. Hey there, wizard. Yes, this is a cute visual novel. This one is called Please Be Happy. And it is... it's about a fox girl from Korea who's moved to New Zealand. And she's learning how to be human, essentially. It's quite cute. I like it. As she approaches, she also slows and then comes to a stop.
Miho!
I don't even know what to say. How can I respond? How can I put all the excitement, the worry, and the relief that she's made me feel in the past 24 hours into words? How do I say it? Silently, I close the distance between us. I can see her eyes searching mine, looking for an answer to the unspoken question. Nice! Yeah, definitely buy things on itch if you got the chance, because it gives way more money to the creators. I know it's easy to like buy things on Steam because of convenience and all that, but like especially for like indie creators, it definitely makes a difference. Now is not a good time to learn about multitasking. Yes, this studio does make the good gay stuff. They made Highway Blossoms, I believe, as well as a few other things. Though this is the first game of theirs that I have played. Overhead, the sun dips behind a cloud, done watching us for the day, and throwing a handful of colors into the sky as it leaves. I've struggled to find words before, but this is different. Like Aspen said yesterday, not just any words will do. I stop, just an arm's length from Aspen, close enough to see the glint of tears hiding in her eyes. Ooh, nice. In that case, chat, if you like this and you want to show some support for the developers, go check them out on itch and buy their bundle, if you can.
I was so worried.
Her voice is barely a whisper, but I can't hear anything else. Absolutely, you may post the link. I was about to go and grab it myself to make things easier. There we go. Thank you. Looking up into her eyes, I'm surprised to find the answer to my own question. One that I didn't know I wanted to ask until just now. One that requires more than words. Or maybe less. I take the last step that separates us and lean forward to kiss Aspen. That's cute. The marks of human affection have always seemed so strange and foreign to me, and maybe even unappealing. As I kiss her, I think I understand. Without hesitation, Aspen's hand rises to touch my face, holding me in place, as if I'd want to leave. She moves like she was waiting for this. Maybe she was. It's unlike anything I've ever felt before. The closeness, the warmth. I place my own hand against her wrist. I think maybe I understand Aspen's fears better now. I would also be content. This moment lasted forever. Even when we separate, Aspen's hands stay on my shoulder, keeping me close.
I see you thought about what I said.
Just a little bit.
And practically nothing else.
Just a little bit. Pulling me into a hug, Aspen rests her face against mine.
So I wasn't the only one then.
She sighs contentedly.
There's so much more I want to say, but this is hardly the place to say it now, is it?
Oh, there goes the bus. I'd nearly forgotten where we were. Not far from the side of the road. Turning around, I look back at the city, which is starting to light up for the evening.
Oh, right. It's kind of a long way home, you know.
Aspen squeezes my hand.
I have all the time in the world.
Not as much as me. Sorry, immortality joke there. Open ending. Chapter 4. Lovely. Okay. Let's save the game here. My paws carry me across wet leaves and mud. The fog has crept into the forest as stealthily as me. Excuse me. Glimpses of the sky are rare between the trees and the mist. The wild mountains and hills are hidden as well, out of sight, but not mind. I run, filled by a sense of purpose. It lightens my steps and pulls me in the right direction. I'm going to see someone I care about very much, and who cares about me. Somehow, we found each other. My person. The path to follow is engraved in my body and mind, almost instinctually. A warm smile, a gentle touch, a kind word. These are the things that draw me forward. I slow down as I get closer to my destination and to the silhouette waiting for me. It's impossibly bright as I approach, my heart pounding in anticipation. The sun has descended to greet my person too. It matches the feeling in my chest, warming my soul and fur. So bright, when my person turns around, stooping low to greet me, light is all I can see. But I don't need to see, only hear. That voice that I could never forget.
Little fox.
Where is your home?
I awake with a yawn, head on my pillow, as the dream fades away. It's been a long time since I've dreamt about the forest. It used to happen a lot, especially when my travels first took me out of Korea. But over time, they stopped. The dreams are always the same. I'm somewhere in the woods, running to the clearing where I've met Zhang Yin. There, they'd greet me in the same familiar way. Something was different about it this time, though. Of course, the first thing on my mind after my dream is Aspen. I have a feeling that's how most of my mornings are going to start from now on. My lips tingle as I recall our kiss together. My first kiss ever. The first of many, I promised Aspen. Although the stressful part was over, the rest of the day was equally exhausting. By the time we got back to Aspen's bus to get her stuff, the replacement bus finally showed up and took us back to the city. From there, we dropped off Aspen's things at her apartment before going back to the library to give Juliet the good news. My legs felt like they were going to fall off, and both Aspen and I agreed to get some rest. Even the anticipation of seeing her today couldn't keep me up, and I feel well rested and excited. But as I roll onto my back, I start to notice something weird. It's like an itch, but in my mind. Something irritating and out of reach and out of me? Takes me a moment, but I realize that it's my bead. I know it the same way that I know how to run and hunt and dig. Tugging at the baubles around my neck, there's an obvious change. Of all the beads on my necklace, only one is special. Most are just pretty things I collected and stuck on there. Only one has been there with me from the moment I became a Gumiho. Became me. Since then, it stayed exactly the same. No matter how many times I throw or drop or lose it, the necklace comes back to me with the bead unharmed. Not a single scratch or chip or blemish. Until today. Instead of the normal pale white, it started to shine. It's barely brighter than usual, but I notice it in an instant. In fact, it's almost as if. I hold my necklace up to be sure.
It's glowing.
It's radioactive! Just barely, but it is. I've rubbed my thumb over the familiar surface, but it doesn't feel any different on the outside. I'm not sure what it means, but it has to be related to yesterday. There's no other way it could pick today of all days to change. Maybe Aspen was onto something. She said there's no such thing as coincidence. Either way, it's magic. Magic I can't control. My bead has always been a part of me, but it's something I can only partially understand. And in that wordless animal way I described to Aspen. When the time comes, whatever it is that's coming, I just have to trust that I'll know what to do. Right now, it doesn't matter. Because something much more important is going to happen, and sooner. Aspen will be here. She's probably here already, so I need to get ready. Going through my quick morning routine, I feel more energized than ever. For once, I'm not nervous. It's excited. Yay! As soon as I open my bedroom door, I can hear the familiar murmur of conversation in the kitchen. Even the short walk downstairs is enough time to let my heart race. I assume Juliet's in the kitchen when I get there, but I only have eyes for Aspen. She looks over from her seat at the table, and the instant she sees me, her face lights up. Nearly stops me in my tracks. I've seen Aspen smile 1,000 times by now. Never like this. Never for me and me alone. I can't help but do the same.
Good morning, Miho.
Morning.
She sounds chipper this morning. It's our usual greeting, but it feels brand new. I wonder if all the little things will.
Did you sleep well, Miho?
Like a rock.
I pull my chair closer to Aspen's than usual as I take my seat and fill my plate.
We were just talking about how tired you must be. I wouldn't have been surprised if you slept until the afternoon.
No way. Then I wouldn't get to see you at breakfast.
Flustered, Aspen doesn't seem to know how to respond. Now that I know the feelings she was hiding, a lot of the other times where that's happened make way more sense. I giggle as she looks torn between being pleased and embarrassed.
That would be quite a shame. Yes.
Quite.
But understandable after you ran across half of Wellington yesterday.
Was it really? It didn't feel like it. But maybe that's why I'm so hungry.
Feel free to help yourself to what's left. Aspen and I have already eaten.
We wanted to wait, but...
You've got work.
It's fine. I don't mind.
Around now is usually when Aspen would start to leave for work, but it's Juliet who stands up first.
I must say, I'm rather sleepy myself. Would either of you mind if I retire a bit early today?
Nope. Aspen and I can clean up, right?
I think we can see the bead glowing a little bit over there. It could be I'm just sensitive because it's specifically highlighted it earlier, but I wonder if that's an actual thing or if in previous sprites it wasn't quite that bright.
Oh, yes, right, that... I mean, not at all.
I'll wish you both good night then.
Good night.
Bye.
We both watch as Juliet departs before turning to face each other. As soon as our eyes meet, Aspen looks away again, blushing but laughing.
What is it? What's funny?
Nothing. Nothing's funny. It's just... it's hard to believe. I mean, us? You and me? You can't imagine how many times I've sat at this table wishing we were like this. Together.
How long were you sitting on this, Aspen?
Oh.
That warm, fuzzy feeling from before takes over my face. The one that goes with the realization of how special I am to her. How, out of everyone in the world, I'm the one she feels this way about.
And now...
Here we are.
yes. Here we are.
Is this why you do the face-sucking thing? Everything is the same, but everything is different now, too. it's just as confusing as it is exciting. Now that I'm here alone with her, I'm not sure how to act. Aspen, fiddling with her ribbon, seems like she's waiting for me to go first. Problem is, I'm not sure what to say. I'm not sure how I should talk to her differently now, or if I even should, or anything really. With just the two of us, I'm suddenly super aware of how out of my depth I am. I can't let the silence stretch on too long. I have to say something. Banana hammock!
So hey!
I think.
Both of us start and stop talking at the same time. I pause, waiting for her to keep going. And she does the same thing for me. We both laugh together a moment later, and somehow that breaks the ice. It feels like a reassurance before I can even ask for one.
You go.
No, you first.
No, you first, I insist. If that's what it takes.
I was going to say that, I don't really know much about this whole dating thing. So if there's...
Aspen shakes her head and puts a finger to my lips to shush me.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Miho. It's all so new to me as well.
Then we could both be wrong, and nobody would know. She removes her hand, looking at it, as if she just now realized what she did. Not that I mind.
So, perhaps we can figure it out together.
Yay!
Together.
I try out the word for myself. Aspen and me. Together.
Yeah, I like that. We can both just do what feels right.
I like the sound of that too.
Aspen's sleeve rustles as she takes my hand, her fingers gently intertwining with mine. It's cool to the touch.
That feels right.
Her soft actions make me feel braver.
So does this.
Ah, it's the face sucking! I lean forward and kiss her, just for a moment. Because a moment may as well be an hour, I'm not sure if it'd ever be enough.
I'd say we're off to a good start.
Me too.
Just being near each other already feels more meaningful and exciting. Since this is just the beginning, I can't wait to see where things go from here. Of course, I'll have to wait a little bit longer. With her free hand, Aspen checks her phone and I see her frown in response.
Time to go?
Unfortunately.
She stands up and I stand with her, still linked by our hands. It feels almost unfair that daily life, with all its obligations, still matters right now. I know, right? Aspen hasn't even left yet. I'm already waiting for her to come back.
I wish I could stay here with you longer though.
Me too. Maybe I'll just come buy a bunch of drinks at the Bell House, so I can talk to you at the counter.
Perfect. I can tell my boss I was just engaging with the customers, like she wants us to.
Both of us laugh again, and Aspen steps forward, lay her head on my shoulder. I lean my head against hers, surprised by how soft her hair is against my cheek.
I really will be thinking of you all day, counting down the hours.
Same. I couldn't think about anything else, even if I wanted to.
Normally, I'd think twice about saying something so embarrassing, but it actually feels pretty good. We walk together to the front door, taking as long as possible.
See you soon.
Not soon enough.
So goofy together. I stand in the doorway as Aspen slowly walks backwards, holding onto my hand until the very end. She looks into my eyes.
I love you, Miho.
The tips of her fingers linger against mine. Where they touch, it feels electric. Ah, thank you. I think of the Sproutling that Juliet used to describe love and the way it grows. Maybe that word means different things to Aspen and me right now, but I know without a doubt I want to learn all of them. I want to take a chance with her. I want to try.
I love you too.
And I mean it. We stay like that for just a little longer, not needing to say anything else. Then, finally, Aspen turns around and begins to walk down the hill, taking my heart with her. Just like Aspen, I end up counting down the hours until her shift will be over. Too impatient to make it to the end, I leave early and reach the Bell House around the time that they'll be closing for the night. It's not dark out yet, but even from a distance, the inside of the Bell House looks warm and inviting. As I pass by the front window on my way to the door, I spot Aspen, who doesn't notice me. She's helping one of her co-workers stack the chairs up on the tables. When they finish with that, she goes to organize the sweetener section. While she's doing that, a different co-worker comes over and shows her 2 different loaves of bread, and she thinks for a moment before pointing at one. In the time it takes the other staff to complete a task, Aspen finishes 3, even with people coming up to ask her questions too. Of course, I have no idea what they're talking about, but even from here on the outside of the store, I can see why they want her to run the new Bell House. Leaning against the wall of the cafe, I wait. Most of Aspen's co-workers leave before she does, and it's several minutes before she finally walks out the door at a brisk pace, going right past me.
Aspen!
The eyes! Spinning around, she quickly goes from surprise to smiling.
Miho! I was just thinking about you. Although that's been true all day.
I got tired of waiting for you at the library, so I decided to come down here so I could see you even sooner.
Get a room! That earns me a hug and a kiss on the cheek.
I love you. Have I mentioned that?
Once or twice, but I don't think I'll get tired of hearing it.
Good, because I don't get tired of saying it.
Links her arm with mine, snuggling against my shoulder. Normally, when someone gets so close to me or touches me, the first instinct is to jump away. But not with Aspen. It's only the first day. I've surprised myself just how much I'm enjoying being Aspen's girlfriend. If she hadn't told me her feelings, I probably never would have realized my own, rather. But once I opened myself up to the idea, I realized that almost all of my favorite memories are with Aspen. When I'm with her, I just have fun. Being around her cheers me up, even if I was in a good mood to begin with. I wonder if it's the same for her. I hope so, since just being myself has always seemed to make her laugh and smile. I never would have imagined that I'd be able to do that to someone. They could feel that way about me. I could feel it too. I've never been so glad to be wrong.
So, what do you want to do now?
Well, I need to go home to change and take care of the cats. Would you like to come over?
Yes, I would like to help play with the cats.
I can make us dinner later too, if you haven't eaten yet.
Sure! Even if I had, I'd make room for that.
It's settled then, shall we?
Arm in arm, Aspen proudly leads the way to her apartment. The moment she starts to unlock the door, the sounds of meowing and scratching claws from the other side start up.
They're excited to see you too, huh?
Excited to be fed, more like. Scooch, boys.
They've never been fed in their lives. The cats run around underfoot as Aspen steps inside, with me following behind. As soon as they notice me, meowing stops and they both scurry away.
Aw, how rude.
You'd better get used to Miho, you two. You're going to be seeing her around a lot more.
Aspen puts her hands on her hips and talks sternly to the sulking cats. They both meow in frustrated response until Aspen sighs.
Yes, yes, now let's get you fed.
She grabs a jug of cat food from on top of the fridge, rattling sound making the cats brave enough to run past me and go harass Aspen some more.
Go ahead and make yourself at home, Miho. I'm going to take care of them and then freshen up, so I'll be a minute.
Okay, take your time.
I sit down on the edge of Aspen's bed, doing my best not to disrupt the neatly made sheets. Aspen sets the bowls of cat food on the floor near the door, and the cats position themselves so they can watch me while they eat. Rolling her eyes, Aspen steps over them towards the restroom.
So dramatic. I wonder who they get that from.
You!
Anyway, be right back.
It isn't long before the sound of the running shower starts. Oh, and we have our first ad break, so I will take a quick pause right here, and we will be back in a couple of minutes, alright? Use that time to grab yourselves a drink, go to the bathroom, that sort of thing, alright? Did the game just crash? I think the game just crashed. That's not ideal. Let's reload that, shall we? And there's no autosaves on this, is there? Alright, let's see where we were at. Alright, let's get back in.
Please be happy.
Not if you crash on me! Alright,
Already? Okay, let me grab my keys.
so I am assuming we've got to
Already?
load
Okay,
from
let me grab my
here.
keys.
And then fast forward, I guess? Okay, so it fast forwarded to the scene that we were at. Not quite to the same area,
They're excited to see you too, huh?
Excited.
but close.
You'd better. Yes, yes. Go ahead
Okay,
and make.
cat
I'm going to take care of
food.
them.
Okay, take your time.
Yeah. Disrupt. Yeah, steps over them.
Anyway, be right.
Okay. Alright, it isn't long before the sound of the running shower starts. I look around the apartment, paying closer attention than the last time I was here. Because it's so small, it feels like there's something of Aspen's personality in every corner. From the glittering lights strung across the ceiling, the stuffed animals in the bed behind me. Now let me know if audio's all working okay, just in case the crash affected anything. I recognize some of the books on the shelves and the desk from the library. I'm sure there's a story behind each and every decoration. I'll probably hear more than a few of them eventually. After the cats finish eating, they skulk into the room, sit down across from me, glaring. Wonder if something about my ears and tail makes them mad.
Guess what?
I transform into a fox right in front of them, spreading my tails out like a fan. I don't growl or anything, but I lock eyes with each cat in turn. Asserting dominance, are we? Immediately, they both yowl and run for the bed, tripping over each other as they rush to hide, fur puffing out like clouds. I cackle to myself as I change back and sit down again. Cats are always fun to tease. For some opportunities are just too good to pass up. Before long, Aspen comes out looking refreshed. She surveys the room just like I did.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I guess there's not a whole lot to do here, is there?
There's cats.
It's fine. Wasn't that long. I was just being nosy and admiring all your stuff.
Be as nosy as you'd like. I'm going to start on dinner.
I'm gonna go through your medicine cabinet.
Okay. Let me know if you need any help.
Thanks, but just the company is enough. It won't be anything very fancy. I'm much better at making drinks than food.
Don't you make food at the Bell House too?
Not really. We have bakers who come in earlier than I do to prepare most of it. I just have to heat things up and serve them. Unlike our beverages, which I make from scratch. Speaking of which, would you like some coffee or hot cocoa? I'll be making some for myself.
I would like a hot chocolate, please.
Sure. I'll have whatever you have.
That's easy enough. Now let's see.
Aspen moves around the tiny cooking area. Calling it a kitchen would be a stretch, with the same kind of graceful confidence that I've seen her use when working at the Bell House. Yes, some of the tasks are the same. She starts to fill a pitcher with water from the sink, while scooping coffee grounds into the machine at the same time. When the pitcher's ready, she swaps it out with another pot, this one for cooking. That fills up while she finishes getting the coffee set up and brewing. And she starts pulling ingredients out from the few cabinets that line the cooking area.
What are you gonna make?
I'm not really sure what it's called. It's a dish Mum used to make. It was one of the first things I learned how to cook, because it's always reminded me of home. And it's easy to make.
What's in it?
Is there anything like that for you? A meal that tastes like home?
Rabbit.
Nah, not really. Julie asked me that before too. I don't know if I ever had a full meal while I was in Korea, since I just stole what I needed to survive.
Oh, right. I should have remembered that you...
Aspen bites her lip, looking unsure of how to phrase whatever she was going to say.
Lived like that? It's fine. I don't mind talking about it. Especially not with you.
If you're sure, I don't want to bring up anything that's difficult for you to talk about.
Don't worry. You won't. There's nothing like that, honestly. Most of it just blurred together over time, so be as nosy as you want.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
The pile of ingredients Aspen stacks up is pasta, a few different kinds of vegetables, and a few different cans.
Would you mind giving me a hand, actually? Do you think you could chop up these vegetables for me?
Sure! Just show me how.
Aspen demonstrates how to hold the knife, and then, covering my hand with hers, guides me through the motion to cut the veggies.
Don't worry too much about making them all the same size. Close enough is fine.
That's good, because I think same size might be impossible.
In the time it takes me to chop a couple zucchini and onions, Aspen takes care of everything else. Well, congratulations on getting through that, at least. Especially onions. I hear they make you cry.
Are these ready?
As they'll ever be.
I pass the cutting board to Aspen, being careful not to spill. In the end, most of the chunks didn't even turn out the same shape, much less size. But Aspen tosses them into a hot pan anyway, and before long, delicious aroma fills the room. I do like the smell of cooking onions, admittedly.
That smells amazing.
Hopefully it'll taste good too.
Don't have any doubts myself. I don't think Aspen will be satisfied until the dish is done. Then she seems focused on watching the sautéing veggies and boiling pasta. I don't talk, so I don't distract her. A few minutes later, Aspen combines everything into one pan, mixing it all together with a wooden spoon. She dishes out a couple of spoonfuls onto a pair of plastic plates and hands me one, along with a fork. Oh no, you've only got plastic plates? Get some proper dishes! Plastic plates are disposable, it's bad for the environment.
Well, bon appetit. I wish there was a table we could sit at. I usually just eat at my desk. You can have that spot, and I'll take the bed.
That's fine. I can sit on the floor.
The floor?
You're gonna be fighting with the cats over the food that way.
Yeah, it's where I watch TV in my room too.
I'll join you then.
We both settle down on the ground, setting our plates in our laps. Noticing something, Aspen leans to the side.
Percy? Byron? What are you two doing back there?
I lean over to peek under the bed too. 4 angry green eyes stare at me from the farthest, darkest corner. Feigning innocence, I sit back up.
Huh. Wonder what their problem is.
I guess they're just not used to having company. It's been a long time since they've met anyone aside from you and Juliet.
That must be it.
Totally. I didn't mention that I might have something to do with it too. Hey, the cat started it. Grabbing my fork, I turned my attention back to dinner. I try to make sure to get a little bit of everything in my first bite. It's still hot off the stove, so I have to blow on it to cool it off. Aspen watches anxiously while I chew, waiting to start her own meal.
Well, how is it?
Whoa! This?
No, I need to find a better way to describe it than usual.
It's delicious!
Simple's best.
Really? Oh, I'm glad you think so.
Really, really.
The food itself is good, but it tastes even better knowing that Aspen made it. I scarf down my whole plate and then get up for seconds. After cleaning my plate the second time, I finally set it aside along with my fork.
Did you have enough? There's still more if you want.
I'm good. Thanks, though. That was seriously great. Thanks for making it.
I'm just happy to hear you enjoyed it. It's been ages since I've cooked for anyone other than myself.
It's one of the best meals I've ever had.
That just means you need to have more good meals. There are lots of restaurants here in Welly that I've wanted to try, but didn't want to go alone.
Coward.
Maybe we can visit some of those together.
Sure. I'm not sure if I'd like any of them as much as this, though.
Laughing, Aspen puts her plate aside and scoots closer to me, laying her head on my shoulder again. Her hand finds mine on the floor, and she loosely wraps her fingers around mine.
I keep thinking I'm getting used to you flattering me, but I still love it every time.
It's true. I'm just saying what I think.
I know. That's one of the things I love about you. One of many, many things. I've never felt anything but ordinary, as much as I'd like to, and as much as I'd like to pretend I wasn't. But you really do make me feel otherwise. I'm so happy I met you, Miho. I hope you don't get tired of hearing that.
Never.
Cute. Even though things have changed so much, the morning routine is more or less the same. Three of us chit-chat about our lives and mundane things until we finish eating. After pushing her empty plate away, Aspen leans in.
So, Miho, there's something I've been thinking about. And I understand if this is something you wouldn't even want to consider. But have you ever thought about finding a way to stop your magic?
Juliet also turns to look at me, putting me on the spot.
Not that I can remember. That's like asking if you've thought about finding a way to stop your nose from working.
I see. I thought that might be the case.
I'm not sure if I've ever heard of such a thing either. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
I was just thinking about the other day and about how dreadful it all was to go through. Of course, I don't want to speak for Miho. I know it's much more complicated than just that. But I thought I might bring up the idea, at least.
You've got a point. Not having to worry about people forgetting me would be a huge relief.
Right. I thought you might agree.
I look at Juliet, expecting her to give an opinion, but she doesn't offer one. It's true that life would be a lot easier without my magic. Well, half true. This life would be easier, but the life I used to lead, I couldn't have survived without it.
Well, it's purely hypothetical right now anyway. For all we know, it might be impossible, so no need to think about it too much.
It's worth thinking about, though.
The only two people who actually remember me are in this room right now. All the other people I've met here in Welly, I couldn't really call them my friends as much as I've liked spending time with them. Every time we see each other is the first time as far as they're concerned. Maybe that wasn't so bad when I was still on the fence about whether I'd even stay in town or not. But now that I've been here a while, long enough to build something worth missing, I wish I could make those connections into something more secure. Even if there's nothing I can do about my magic, I can at least try to figure out a way to maintain friendships with others too, not just Aspen and Juliet.
It couldn't hurt to find out, right? It's not like I have to go through with it or anything if I don't want to.
Exactly. Simply being informed is never a bad idea.
So, does that mean you have an idea?
Well, not quite. But I'd be happy to start doing some research on the topic. If we're going to find anything, it's likely to be in a book. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's reading.
And there we have it. Aspen's just looking for an excuse to read some more.
Good luck with that. Let me know what I can do to help.
I'd be glad to lend a hand as well. Perhaps I could find someone who'd be knowledgeable about Gumiho. Myth and folklore are often at odds with reality, so it can be difficult to discern what's true and what isn't.
Someone who'd know about Gumiho, huh?
Gee, I wonder who that might be. One person comes to mind, but I'm not sure how willing she'd be to help. I still haven't mentioned the other Gumiho I met to Aspen and Juliet. In my head, I've started calling her Silver. It just feels wrong somehow. If someone had told other people when I was around, I would have been furious with them. It would have made hiding and stealing a whole lot harder too. So, as a fellow Gumiho, I've kept Silver's existence a secret from everyone else so far. For all I know, there could be more than just Silver. There could be a whole community of Gumiho here in Wellington. I have no idea. I don't think that's the case, though. Besides, Silver seems unhappy enough with one intruder on her territory as it is. Maybe there's something else I can ask her. I don't know when or where, but somehow I know I haven't seen the last of her. For now, I just sit back and listen as Aspen and Juliet discuss various books and theories to start with. I feel like I should be more involved. It's my magic after all, but this is one area where I can't really contribute. I can't stay out of it forever and let them take care of me again, though. I have to try something on my own, too. I can't just refuse to participate in my own future. As it gets closer to time for Aspen to leave, Juliet checks the clock and then stands up.
Off to bed?
Not yet, actually. Would you mind staying just a moment longer, Aspen? I have something I'd like to give Miho. It's somewhat related to what we were just talking about.
Oh, no, I don't mind.
Is it a phone?
For me? What is it?
You'll see. I'll be right back.
Disappearing upstairs, I hear Juliet enter her study for a moment before returning with a small, nicely wrapped box.
There's no particular occasion, but still, I felt like wrapping it.
Juliet hands me the package, which I take carefully. It's not heavy, but it's not light either. I turn it over and over, examining. I've never had a gift before. Clearing her throat, Aspen seems a bit impatient.
Don't just keep us in suspense.
Okay.
Tear off the paper that Juliet so beautifully wrapped the package with, revealing
Oh, wow.
it's a phone! One that I recognize. Sold it!
It's the same as Aspen's.
No pun intended, but greatly appreciated.
What a coincidence, right?
I consulted Aspen to make sure I got the same one. I thought it would be best if she can help show you how to use it.
Makes sense.
I'm a little behind the times on things like devices.
As gently as I can, I open the box and take out the phone itself. It's sleek and shiny and cold to the touch. I hold it in both hands to make sure that I don't drop it.
Thank you. Really. This is the nicest thing I've ever owned.
Just wait until we tell you about how you have to pay every month in order to keep it operational.
Think nothing of it.
Let us tell you about subscription plans and how it blights modern society.
As you have more loved ones and responsibilities, it's important that you be able to stay in touch. In fact, that was what gave me the idea in the first place. Like Aspen, I'd also been thinking about your magic and the ways that it might work. So I wonder, would seeing someone in a video call serve to refresh someone's memory of you? Or is it necessary to see each other in person?
I have been asking that question myself.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Let's experiment with someone.
I can't believe I never thought to ask that before.
Neither Aspen nor I would want to gamble our memories of Miho, in case it turns out not to work. So we need to find someone else to participate in our little experiment. With that in mind, I'm not sure who to ask. It's a harmless trial, but still a bit much to ask of a total stranger.
Lena!
Someone willing to try something weird without hesitation. I'll text Lena.
Exactly. While Aspen does that, I stare at the device in my hands. Could something so small really solve so many of my problems? Wouldn't it be a perfect solution? That would be a lot better than nothing if this works. Even if not, I won't let that change my earlier decision to find some way to be remembered by the people I've met. Just like researching my magic, I can't leave everything to someone else or look for an easy way out.
All right, Lena says she's willing to give it a go. I told her I'd explain more when I saw her. Usually you'd think those would happen in the other order, but this is Lena we're talking about.
Miho, would you like to come down to the Bell House to see her with me now? Sure. As long as Juliet doesn't mind me leaving the library.
By all means. I'm eager to see if this works as well.
Me too.
So it's settled then. Shall we be off, Miho?
Lena's waiting for us outside the Bell House when we arrive.
Morning, boss!
Hey, Lena.
So, you're the person with the weird memory thing, right?
Yep, that's me.
I've already introduced myself to Lena more times than I can count. But what's one more? This will be a great start to my new goal of making sure the other people I've gotten to know don't keep forgetting me.
I'm Miho. We've met before, actually. At tennis and at the Bell House and a few other times, too.
Okay, makes sense to me. So how do we do this?
I like how she's just willing to play along.
Really? That's it?
It's Lena! Aspen! Keep with the times!
What you mean?
I would have thought you'd take more convincing than that.
It's Lena!
I guess I'm not surprised, but...
Nah, it lines up. I remember doing all those things that Miho mentioned, but I couldn't think of who I was with. Now I can stop trying to remember that and devote that brain power to something else.
Yeah, that one brain cell's putting in a lot of work.
Yes, well, I'm sure you'll need it. So, let's see.
I just need to get Miho's number, right? And then video call her tonight?
Right. Any time should be fine as long as it's before this time tomorrow. Miho can come with me again in the morning, and we'll see if you know who she is.
You got it! I'll try extra hard to remember her.
I'm not sure it works like that, unfortunately. I wish it were that simple.
Maybe it is, and you just didn't try hard enough.
Placing a finger on either temple, Lena closes her eyes and hums deeply.
Does that help?
She's channeling Lena brainwaves. Let her do it.
Shh, don't interrupt.
Lena hums for a little longer and then opens her eyes with a wink, a thumbs up.
Okay, got it! Of course it helps. It's my secret technique.
Whoa! If it works, then maybe you can teach Aspen too.
I think I'm all right, actually.
But what if it's really useful?
It's not, trust me.
That's a very big if.
I do like Aspen's dry humor.
Whatever. You'll see tomorrow when I remember all of this. Anyway, Miho, what's your number?
I don't know.
It's,
I pull out the phone Juliet gave me, inspecting it closely.
I'm not sure where it is.
Shouldn't it be written somewhere? I look around the edges, trying to find anything that seems fitting.
Let's do this instead. Miho, may I see your phone?
I hand the device to Aspen, who swipes one finger up and begins to quickly tap through the screens.
Whoa, you're a pro at this. Juliet's a lot slower whenever she uses hers.
I'm not sure that Juliet's the right standard. She still prefers a landline when she can. Okay, here. I saved Lena's number for you, Miho. Now you can call her so she can save your number.
Right. Okay, let's see.
Taking my phone back, I try to remember how to do that. Lena comes and watches from behind Aspen.
New phone?
Who dis? Moving away, Aspen brushes imaginary dirt off her shoulder.
You're in my bubble.
That's the same kind Aspen has, right?
Yup! This is the first phone I've owned.
Wow, really? So then how do you check Triller or Space Face?
Oh, don't go on Space Face, it's just full of bots, okay? And Triller is owned by a dickhead. Space Face too, admittedly, but Triller's owner is an even bigger dickhead.
What are those?
Stumbling backwards, Lena seems like she's at a loss for words, which might be a first for her. Yes, she does have something in common with Aspen.
Wow, you really do have a lot of catching up to do. I'll help you get set up when I call you. It's like, you can't not have a Triller, even though it's terrible, I hate it, but you have to have it. Space Phase, I don't know about. Everyone you...
Okay, I think that's enough, Lena.
You don't have to have it. It is terrible. You don't have to have it.
Oh, you never let me finish talking!
You never would finish talking if I didn't stop you.
If someone wants to put in twice the work, let them.
That's not true!
For a second, Lena seems pretty serious. Then she thinks about it a second.
Well, maybe a little. But just
Just a little.
Anyway, it's fine. I'll tell Miho when I talk to her tonight. See you guys later.
I'm going to be in there with you in like 2 minutes.
That's later, isn't it?
She's right. Lena's got you there, Aspen. Lena flaps her wings proudly as she walks into the Bell House.
You let her win, huh?
Sometimes it's better to just let her go. But I'm glad she said she'd help out. She's a mess, but she sticks to her word at least.
You two seem pretty close.
Do we? We started working here at the same time, so we spent a lot of time together. You've spent more time with her outside the Bell House than I have, though. She can be a lot, but she comes through when it matters. Like with this.
I knew before messaging her that she'd be willing to help out. It's just how she is.
Don't you dare tell her I said that, though.
Stepping towards the Bell House door, Aspen turns to say goodbye to me.
Well, it's my least favorite time of the day. Time to say goodbye.
Love you.
It's not too late to ditch work and hang out with me instead.
Believe me, it sounds more and more tempting each day.
That just means I have to keep trying. I should probably get back to the library too, though.
Yes, don't let me keep you. As much as I'd like to.
Hey there, Callista. How you going? Thank you very much for the raid. I do appreciate it. Let me just do that real quick. Playing some National Park Girls. How was that one for you? Those who don't know me, I am Araxis Denacia, your revolutionary bartender, and we are playing some Please Be Happy. We are currently on the Aspen route, and we're just working out how phones work and seeing if they can help people remember me, which is what I have been saying they should have tried a while back, actually. See if video calls work. Who else were you going to raid? I don't know. Probably could have found someone? Maybe? I don't know. I'm probably like the only person like streaming this game right now, though. It's just how it is, I guess, with smaller games. You don't have too many people streaming them, unlike like League of Legends or Apex or something like that. Anyway, glad you're doing well. Let's get back to the game, shall we? How's National Park Girls? Going well so far? Got your issues? Mull them over, talk about them more after you... Yeah, makes sense. Like, most things are going to have issues, certainly. Depends on whether they detract from the main source material or not. But like, it's absolutely fine to like something that isn't perfect, because nothing's perfect. I like Crossange, and that has a lot of issues, for example. We come together for a quick kiss. I like this new routine of doing that every time we say goodbye.
I'll see you tomorrow then.
Of course. You know where to find me.
Good. I hope you have a wonderful day, Miho. I love you.
I love you too. Have a good day at work.
I'll do my best.
Aspen walks inside. The bells over the door chime like they're happy to see her. I wait until the door fully closes behind her and she disappears from sight, before I head out on my way. It's almost bedtime when my phone finally buzzes, startling me and almost making me drop my phone on my face. Lena's name pops up, and I tap what I hope is the right button.
Hello? Miho? Can you hear me? It's Lena!
Their face fills the screen, making it pretty easy to see who it is. While NPG, mostly developed by Studio Coattails, they merged with Studio Elan around the time the 4th chapter of the game came out, and the last chapter was made entirely by Studio Elan? Huh. Interesting. I mean, if they merge, then it's going to have the same people on board, right? This is something some people forget. Not necessarily saying that you forget it or anything like that, but like just because a company has made something doesn't mean that you can expect it to be the same or the same quality or whatever. Like take BioWare for example. Like BioWare built up like a huge reputation for itself, but like people leave companies all the time. Staff swap out, and like eventually, like they're the original staff who made something great aren't going to be there anymore, and the new staff are going to do something different. It might be better, it might be worse, unfortunately. If there's, yeah, you'll see if there's any difference in quality in writing. Absolutely. Who knows? Maybe because they'll have like some of Studio Elan's staff on board, it will like have some of their design sensibilities. Maybe they'll be providing help. Maybe it'll still be sort of like Studio Coattails' baby essentially, and they'll be working solely on it. Who knows? Only time will tell, right? And that time is when you finish the game, I guess. I wiggled the phone around, trying to make it point at my face. Problem is, it's reversed, so I keep confusing myself. How does Aspen use this thing so much?
Hi! I see you! Can you see me?
I hate video chat, by the way. I don't like making phone calls either. Like, able to do them just fine, certainly, but it's annoying speaking on the phone because like, it feels like the quality of audio is not very good. It can be hard to understand what people are saying, especially if you're not familiar with the person. I don't like talking on the phone. Video chat's just awkward.
Yep. Hi.
Though admittedly, I guess you do get to see like someone's like mouth moving, so it might be easier to understand what they're saying. I don't know. She waves at the camera with her free hand. I have to sit up to do the same thing. I don't know, everyone should just have studio quality microphones and speak clearly. That's the best solution, right?
Thanks for calling. This is gonna be a big help.
No, yeah, no problem. Sorry I've forgotten you so many times. I know I'd be totally upset if people couldn't remember who I was. It's like, hello? How can you forget me?
I know, right?
It's alright. I'm pretty used to it by now.
Yeah, but still, it's gotta suck. I've got an idea, though. I'll just call you like this every night, and that way I won't forget you, right? If this works out, I mean.
Hopefully.
Yeah. If it works. I really, really hope it does.
Yeah, who would want Lena to forget about them?
Still, every night...
Even if the phone makes it a lot easier, it's a lot of phone calls to make. Forever. Funny how that word keeps getting in my way.
Yeah, it's no big deal, though. I mean, I'm always on my phone before I go to bed anyway, so I can just make calling you part of my routine, like brushing my teeth and stretching. Ever since I quit ballet, I have more free time, so I can fit it in. That way I won't forget to do it. That would be kind of funny if I did, though. Not like funny, but funny like ironic. I think that's how you use that word. Aspen always tells me I'm wrong, though.
I think that would be correct there.
Actually, speaking of Aspen...
Yes, we are dating. Lena goes on to tell me a story about work today, which turns into a story from work the day before. She goes on like that for a while. I try to smile and laugh when it seems appropriate, but my arm is starting to get sore from holding out my phone like this. This is why you get one of those cases where you're able to sort of like have it as like an inbuilt stand. And that is a lot more convenient if you're doing anything that requires actively watching or listening or whatever. Like you can watch YouTube videos on it that way, play games potentially, video chats. Finally, she runs out of steam and yawns, switching into sleepy mode in seconds.
Anyway, I just thought that was funny. I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm super tired. You're coming to the Bell House in the morning, right?
Technically, we should make it the afternoon just to make sure that it doesn't, like, conflict with when we arrived in the morning before, right? As otherwise it might still be within 24 hours. I don't know.
Yup, I'll be there with Aspen.
Okay, see you soon then. I hope. Well, I'll see you either way. But I hope I remember you. Sorry if I don't.
That's fine. Thanks for trying. Good night.
I try to figure out how to hang up, my finger hovering over the screen like I'm about to squish a bug. Fortunately, Lena does it first, and that ends the call for both of us. I lie back down in bed, my phone in my hand. It isn't heavy, but it's definitely a big deal. This works out with Lena tomorrow. It would change everything for me. Again. I'm not sure if Lena really thought about what she was getting into when she said she'd call me every day. Same goes for Aspen and Juliet, of course. I'm sure all of them mean it when they promise, but those are really hard promises to keep, no matter who's making them. Even though they're all willing to go through so much trouble for me. Odds are, at some point, at least one of them will eventually miss a day, and that'll be that. No second chances. Even if we started over, it would never be exactly the same. With my other hand, the one that isn't holding the phone, I reach up and grab my necklace, feeling the warmth of my bead. It's been a big pain lately, but for such a long time, magic was my most useful tool, my secret weapon. As much hiding and scavenging as I did before would have been 10 times worse if any of my crimes had followed me. Those days really past me now? Permanently? Aspen's idea about stopping my magic is interesting. I can't get it out of my head. Being able to be remembered by everyone I care about is the number one thing I could ask for right now. But will it always be that way? Say there was a way that I could change things and make it so people didn't forget me. What if it wasn't possible for me to change my mind later? Sure, it sounds nice at the moment, but forever is a long time. I keep being reminded of that. I tuck my necklace up so that I can see the bead. It still has a soft white glow to it. I wish I knew what it meant. I wish I knew what any of it meant or how it worked. I wish I didn't have to deal with these questions and problems. Of all the forms for my magic to take, it had to be this confusing one. Gripping my bead in my fist, I yank my necklace off my neck, hurl it away from me. It clatters and rattles as it hits the wall and then the floor, lying like a snake in the darkness. Closing my eyes, I silently count in my head. 1, 2. There's no flicker or pop as my necklace reappears around my throat, as if it had never left. My bead hasn't changed at all. Not that I expected it to. Sighing, I roll over onto my side, not tired enough to sleep, but not feeling like doing much else either. This necklace has felt like a lot of things before. Comfort, a memento, a guide. It's been my one constant since the beginning. Right now, heavy against my pillow, it feels like an anchor. Like always, the next morning, I'm cheered up by seeing my friends. After a quick breakfast, Aspen spreads out some sheets of paper on the table, and Juliet and I both crowd in to see.
So I started doing some research on Gumiho. I found plenty of information that I thought was interesting, but I'm not sure how much of it will be useful.
Hey, that does sound just like me.
Oh, don't say that.
I'm just kidding.
Good. As I was saying, it's hard to figure out what's accurate and what isn't. A lot of the specific details would have had to come from the Gumiho themselves, and as far as I can tell, none of them are talking. I couldn't find anything about memory or forgetting. Maybe it's self-explanatory, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, most of what seemed accurate were things that we already knew, like being able to change into a fox.
Get to the part about eating people.
Have you had any luck, Juliet?
I'm afraid not. I checked what books I could think of, and none of them yielded any more than you said. I'm not aware of anyone else around who might be helpful either, unfortunately. Of course, it's only been a couple of days so far. I'll keep looking. We're bound to learn something eventually.
If there are Gumiho, does that mean that there are Kitsune as well? Would they have information about Gumiho? And would they be willing to talk? Like, not the same, obviously, but similar.
I'll keep looking too. There was one other thing that came up I thought might be worth mentioning.
Oh?
I read a lot about Gumiho carrying a special bead that has something to do with their magic. You have one of those yourself, right?
Yeah, right there. That one. I removed my necklace, more gently than last night, and hold it out for them to see. Ice cream. Hold on, I'm gonna go get some ice cream. Be right back. The ice cream truck was driving past, so I decided I would get some ice cream. It's in the freezer now. I'm gonna have it after the stream. What was what were you talking about, Callista? That you brought up on the Studio Alarm Discord that the author answered? What was that about? Anyway. The question about Kitsune existing. Okay. I don't know. Well, if you're on the Discord, you can probably do a search for it, right? Just put in the search box, like, type in Kitsune and see your message about it, right? Anyway. I remove my necklace more gently than last time and hold it out for them to see.
Yeah, I've had it my whole life.
May I see it?
You can try.
I pass it to her, and Aspen handles it delicately.
Pardon? What do you mean?
It poofs out of her hand and back around my neck.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't get rid of it, even if I wanted to.
Am I wrong? Or is it glowing?
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah, that part's new. I was in bed when I noticed it a couple days ago. I know it's important, but not how or why.
Well, you do suspect that the reason why is because of your new relationship with Aspen.
Your wild instincts inform you.
Juliet says it so matter-of-factly. Not like there's something bad or that I should have gotten rid of it. They're still a part of me. My other self. No, the other part of me hasn't gone away, even as I've spent more time away from it. When I first came to Wellington, I still thought of myself as a fox. Now, I'm not sure how I see myself. But my bead and its mysteries are a reminder that I'm something different.
Well, that sounds promising. It means something is happening, even if we're not sure what. Let us know if you notice it changing in any other ways, Miho. The more knowledge we have, the better.
Yeah, I will.
Once again, I think of Silva and her bead, which shone much more than mine. Will mine look like that someday? I wonder what it took to make hers glow so brightly. Maybe even Silva doesn't know how the bead works. If it was instinctual, then shouldn't I understand too? I guess I'll just have to ask sometime. I wrap my necklace back around my neck, popping the magnetic clasp together.
One way or another, we'll soon know more about Miho's magic from your experiment.
Yes, I think it's just about time for Miho and I to head out. By the time we get there, it'll have been a full day.
I'm ready to go if you are. You know I hate sitting around waiting.
Another thing we have in common. All right then, let's be off.
Onwards!
Good luck, you two. Let me know how it goes.
Will do.
This time, when we get to the Bell House, Lena isn't waiting outside.
There's always a chance she just forgot in the regular way. I should have texted her first.
Guess we'll find out.
For what feels like the 1000th time in the last few weeks, I'm shaky with nervous energy. At least there's not any risk here. In the worst case scenario, nothing changes. I take the lead and open the door for Aspen and follow her in. Lena's behind the counter.
Hey, boss!
She looks at me.
Who's your friend?
Oh. I try to hide the disappointment from my face. Well, it was worth a shot. It's too bad, but at least I was prepared.
Amiho, I'm
just messing with you.
I did think that there was a possibility of that, admittedly.
I remember everything. Told you my secret technique would work. I'll call you again tonight.
Aspen leans against me in relief. Lapses might be a better way to put it. I can tell she's thinking the same thing I am. Dealing with events like her trip home just got a lot easier to deal with.
God, Lena, you nearly gave me a heart attack. But I'm so glad to hear it that I don't even care.
me too.
A huge weight feels like it's been lifted off my shoulders. Not all of my problems are solved, but at least some of them are. Still at my side, Aspen holds my hand, and Lena's eyes bug out in shock. You stupid ad break. Stupid ad break. Why couldn't you have been during me getting ice cream? Ah! Ah! Alright, anyway, we'll have another brief break then. And hopefully next time the ice cream truck is able to time things better, okay? Alright then, I'll be back in a moment again. I won't get ice cream. I could have just forced the ad break, but then the ice cream truck could have left. I don't know how long it sticks around. I would have been fumbling around for the computer, trying to sort of bring up the ad break, and then the ice cream truck would have left. Like, yes! That's on me. Absolutely. But I was in a rush to get ice cream, okay? You can't blame me for going out to get ice cream. Don't you dare blame me for going out to get ice cream. I mean, we're just having a chat. We're just having a chat instead of wasting our time going to a break, I guess. But I did end up getting... I suppose I'll talk about the ice cream that I did get. I got like a mint chocolate slice, like a box of that. And I also got like some like El Dorado Rocky Road or something like that. I don't know, it looked nice. Kinda got 2 boxes instead of 1 though. Like I was like, yeah, I'll get a box of the El Dorado. And then the guy was like, oh, I got a new box in. Like I got some new flavors in as well over here. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll have one of those as well. Like meaning only like one individual one, but he gave me a box of that as well. And I was like, I don't want to correct him, so I'll buy 2 boxes of ice cream, I guess. It's alright though. It's ice cream. It's great. So I don't mind. It'll just be an extra treat for myself. Because I decided I wasn't going to get some like snacks for tomorrow anyway. So like just consider making it up for that. Anyway, we are back from our ad break now, essentially. So that's enough of rambling from me. Let's get back to the game. All right. Still at my side, Aspen holds my hand, and Lena's eyes bug out in shock.
Wait, are you two?
Yes. After giving me a quick kiss on the cheek, Aspen nods.
Why, yes, we are.
Lena looks like she's seen a ghost.
Oh, no way! You seriously started dating someone before I did? I thought I had that one in the bag!
Like usual, I wasn't aware we were competing, but I certainly did win in this case.
Well, I guess just this once it's fine, since you two are pretty cute together. But I'll win next time!
What's the next competition?
And what what exactly is next time?
Not sure yet, but I'll figure that out soon. I guess I'll leave you two lovebirds alone for a bit. Talk to you tonight, Miho.
Tell me all the embarrassing stories you have about Aspen.
Bye!
Putting her headphones in, Lena disappears into the back of the cafe, leaving the lobby to Aspen and me.
I do only have a bit, unfortunately. Probably better that no customers walk in like this. But I'm really, really glad this worked.
Me too. Now we don't have to worry anymore.
Not nearly as much, at least. I'll be busy this evening, but I'll call you later. And I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Okay. I should go tell Juliet that our idea worked too.
I'm sure she'll be overjoyed as well. Have a good day at work, and I'll try to message you if I can, alright?
Alright.
Yeah. I'll try to figure out how to send a response.
Don't worry, I'm sure you'll have lots of practice. Talk to you again soon. But not soon enough.
Bye.
We give each other a quick hug, and then I head back to the library to deliver the good news. Like we expected, Juliet's also relieved. She gives me a quick lesson in how to send messages, although she's almost as slow as I am. I spend most of my shift working, texting Aspen when I can, and looking forward to tomorrow. It'll be interesting if you've sort of like forgotten everything, but you've got like the all the text logs and all that. At least you'd have that, right? Okay, looks like we are going to the library. Let's save the game here. Don't have anywhere else to go. While I'm sitting at the library's front desk, Gwen and Tommy come in, accompanied by Gerby, of course. She did say that they'd be back again. The two of them come over to where I'm sitting.
Hi there. Sorry to bother you. I know this is a weird question, but the other day there was someone here who played with my son while I was studying. But neither of us can remember who it was. Do you think you might be able to help?
Yeah, it was me.
Hey! Actually...
I explain my magic and how I've met Tommy and Gwen a couple times, as well as Elijah. When I'm done, both of them look amazed.
Whoa! I can't wait to tell Dad!
That's certainly a lot. But you know what? I believe it. It lines up with the gaps in my memory. I thought I was just getting stressed out and forgetting things. Well, I probably am, but I'm glad it's not the case here. Is there some way to keep from forgetting you? Especially if we've met so many times before already.
Yeah, I would have to have a video chat every single day for the rest of your life. We exchange numbers, and I tell her that Tommy's always welcome to come hunt for bugs here. I just don't know if I'll be joining him.
Talk to you later. Good night.
I press the button to end the call on my phone, and then gently set the device on my windowsill. Getting through the phone calls needed to make sure I'm not forgotten is more work than I expected. I'm glad that the people I've befriended are willing to put in the effort to see me every day. It's still such an inconvenience, though, and such a risk. For their sake, as much as my own, I need to try to find a better solution. Whether that means getting rid of my magic entirely or not, I have to at least know what my options are. I can't leave it all for Aspen and Juliet to figure out either. I need to put my own effort in too. While I'm not nearly as good at reading and researching as they are, there's still that one idea that's come to mind a few times. It's time to finally put it into action. Leaving my phone in my room, I get dressed and slip silently out the front door, making my way to Mount Victoria. At the very edge of the path, I transform. Nose close to the ground, I hit the tree line and the wild part of the mountain. I'm rusty when it comes to tracking, and the sheer number of scents that assault my nose is overwhelming. I have to sift between them in my head while I run, disregarding the ones that I can tell are humans or other fabled, or just part of nature. It isn't until I'm far from any roads or homes that I finally catch what I'm looking for. That familiar but unrecognizable presence. Honing in on what I can detect of Silver's trail, I follow it as closely as I can. Sometimes the lead goes cold. I'll pick it up again a few meters away in a different direction. The path is windy and hard to follow. How does anyone live like this? It doesn't feel as if the path is leading anywhere in particular, but I stay on it, keeping my eyes and ears peeled for any other sign of her. Finally, after picking up the trail yet again near the river, I follow it until I reach a familiar spot, transform yet again.
No way.
It's been weeks, but traces of my den are still there. The weather has destroyed a lot of it, but the tunnel is only half caved in, and evidence of the holes where I buried my snacks and supplies remain too. Has Silver been staying here? There aren't any signs of life more recent than mine. Still, her scent ends here, as if she just disappeared. Something rustles from over near the collapsed den. Even with the moonlight, it's hard for me to see, so I change back into a fox, straining all my senses to detect anything. I don't. Nothing but me and the wind. Changing forms yet again, I still get the feeling that I'm not alone.
Hello?
Closing my eyes, I listen for any kind of response. A footstep, or a whisper, or even a breath. All I hear is silence.
Pitiful.
The voice is just inches from my ear, and I leap away on pure instinct, spinning around to face Silver.
I gave you so many chances, and you failed every one of them.
I don't know where she came from or how I didn't notice her, but she's here, slouching in the moonlight. Though I'm sure that, just like me, she could turn and run at a moment's notice. Or fight. I hope that's not what she wants. I don't think I'd win.
How'd you do that? Sneak up on me like that, I mean.
Silverroot?
I didn't even have to try. I see nothing has changed since last time. If anything, the human pet has only gotten more docile. Tell me, do they feed you scraps from a bowl as well?
I get to eat at a nice table with a knife and fork.
It's a plate, usually.
She certainly hasn't gotten any nicer since last time. But as harsh as she sounds, she remains at a distance, and I let myself relax a little. Now that I've had time to get used to her existence, she doesn't seem as intimidating. Even if I was more scared, I wouldn't want to show it like last time. Maybe it's because she reminds me of myself in some ways. Although her arms are crossed, one of her wrists shines in the moonlight, where her bead hangs on a strap. It's almost like looking in a mirror. They're as different as any two people can be. But just by existing, I feel some kind of bond with her. Something wild. behind her shawl, I can see her eyes narrow.
So you admit it then. Perhaps it's for the best. A dog dreams of nothing more than its master's hand. You can close your eyes, forgetting what made you open them in the first place, and disappear.
Silver spits out her last words like a challenge, daring me to respond. Her eyes shine like her bead does. I don't respond, unsure how. Not because she's made me question myself, but because I don't think she'd believe what I have to say. It feels like it's been ages, but really, it's only been a few months that I've been here in New Zealand. Not even a year ago. Didn't I feel the same way she does? Telling myself that I wasn't missing out on anything by being alone, chasing some dream for decades without even stopping to think about it, just dreaming my way through life. How could I tell her that? What could I say that would change her mind? I already know the answer. There isn't anything. Sometimes there are no right words.
I see you've forgotten how to speak as well. But tell me, if you can, what was it you hoped to achieve by coming here? I could have left you chasing your tail in the dark if I'd wanted to, but you've somehow made me curious. I fail to imagine the desires of a hound.
I unhook my necklace and hold it in one hand. The pearls make a soft sound as they bang against each other. But my bead clatters loudly against its neighbor. It's still glowing, same as this morning.
Because I wanted to ask you something. If there was some way to stop her magic. Stop people from forgetting about us.
My fingers curl over the bead. I don't even have to see her face to know her reaction. She laughs, just once, and it sounds like a bark.
You managed to surprise me again. I didn't think even you would be so shameless as to try and rid yourself of your gifts. Ignore them, perhaps, but to abandon them. You have outdone yourself, dog. Fitting that you wear it around your neck like a collar. As for forgetting, I can only guess at what you must mean. Don't think yourself the same as me. My magic is nothing like yours. It takes a different form in every one of our sisters.
Does that mean there are only female Gumiho?
My sisters, I should say.
Then what does yours do instead?
I don't see why I should tell you that. A dog need not concern itself with affairs above its head.
This dog thing is getting pretty old, you know.
Then leave. I only chose to acknowledge you to satiate my own curiosity. It won't happen a second time. Goodbye, dog.
Quick as a flash, Silver transforms, the glow from her bead lingering for a moment in the air. Before her paws have all touched the ground, she's already running away. Soon, even her shining fur disappears into the night. I don't give chase. I never really expected her to answer my question in the first place. Still, I don't think this visit was a waste of time. Before I leave, I take a final look around at my den. When I left here with Juliet months ago, I expected to be back soon. But since I never went back, I never really said goodbye. It wasn't much, even then, and it's even less now. Compared to some of the other hideouts I've made, I didn't stay here very long. Still, it's special. I'd have a hard time going back to sleeping on the ground instead of a bed again, even if I had to. Maybe it'll change in the future, but right now, I'm pretty sure that this will be the last den I ever made. Looking around, I'm all alone again, and it's silent. The birds that used to chirp and greet me in the morning are either sleeping or gone. Still,
Night-night, birdies.
I whisper a final farewell before changing forms and dashing back to the library. The next morning, I once again keep my visit with Silver to myself. Breakfast is tasty like usual, and after a good meal, Juliet goes to bed and leaves Aspen and I on our own. I stand up from the table and stretch, expecting Aspen to do the same.
Time to go, huh?
Not today, actually. Regina's having me go back to working a mid-shift on some days, so I don't have to go in until noon. Meaning I can spend the whole morning with you, if you want.
Of course I do. Why wouldn't I?
Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. Just that... Well, never mind. Sorry, just ignore me. I'm a little out of it.
It's fine, don't worry. But I can't just ignore you either. What's wrong?
Aspen sighs, and then shrugs.
Let's go sit up front and I'll tell you. You need to open the library soon, right?
Yeah? Wanna help?
I'd love to.
Most of the preparations are already done, but we find things to do. I organize the front desk, taking care of some of the clutter, while Aspen does a quick once-over of the shelves and fixes a few out-of-place books. It reminds me a little of my first day working here, when Aspen helped out. She's a lot quieter this time, though she keeps herself busy. I wait for her to bring up whatever it is that's on her mind, rather than try to nudge it out of her. After a while, we sit down behind the desk, where Aspen looks right at home. She casually unpacks her bag, setting aside a small hand mirror and a new notebook. Then she removes an envelope. It has a fancy logo at the top, but not one that I recognize. Was this about your novel?
This was waiting for me in the mail yesterday.
The plastic part of the envelope crackles as Aspen removes the piece of paper from inside, frowning as she unfolds it. I watch her eyes move as she reads through it silently before sighing again.
It says, "Dear Ms. Benoit, we appreciate your manuscript submission and commend you for your success in completing a novel. Unfortunately, we do not find that it fits the criteria we're currently searching for, and as such must respectfully decline."
Yeah, it happens a lot with authors, especially new authors. Novels get declined all the time. Often you have to write several books before you can get published.
Respectfully, Purple Penguin Publications.
Slapping her hand with the paper, she clicks her tongue.
That's it. Not even 50 words, including names. I doubt they even read past the first chapter.
Wait, they said no? Why?
As it says, it's not what they're looking for. I wish they would have given more detail than that, but I suppose I'm lucky to hear anything back at all.
Might have to go and speak with, like, an editor or something like that. Someone involved in one of those publishing houses, and see if you can get them to provide like their professional opinion. Like, often that is a good route to pursue if you want to get published. Because obviously a letter like that isn't going to be helpful.
They're totally gonna regret it in the future when your books are really popular.
I hope you're right. I was prepared for rejections, of course. Even Agatha Christie didn't get published until her second book.
Yeah, rejections hurt regardless, even if you expect them.
Still, I wasn't expecting them to come in so fast.
You sent it to a few different ones, right?
Right, I made a list of my top 15 choices and submitted it to all of them. At first, it was going to be my top 10, but I decided maybe I should expand it some. It turns out that was a good idea. So far, 3 of them have already said no. This one stung a bit more because Purple Penguin is one I was hoping would say yes the most.
I'm sorry. I hope your other top choices still work out.
Yes, me too. It's why I wasn't going to tell you and Juliet at first. I wanted to wait until I had good news to share. But I'm not sure that'll be coming. I'll try not to be a downer, though. I knew there was a good chance this would happen. Don't let me distract you from work, either.
Nah, you won't. Here, look at these.
In an effort to cheer her up, I pull out some of the writing practices that I've been working on and show them to Aspen.
Wow, you've improved so much already. This looks great, Miho.
With a genuine smile, Aspen slowly flips through the pages. I know there's not much to see, since it's a lot of repeating the same thing over and over, but she still looks at every one.
Really, I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
Showing Aspen my attempts to learn how to write feels a little silly compared to her finishing a whole novel. But I can tell that she means every word of praise.
I'm proud of myself, too.
Damn straight, Miho. I don't tell her that a big part of my motivation is being able to read what she writes. I want it to be a surprise when I get there. From the very start, having Aspen in my life has inspired me to be a better person. Now that we're in love, it makes me want to try at least twice as hard. I want to be able to love her writing too. Even if those penguin people don't like it, I'm sure I will, because it comes from her heart. I believe in Aspen, even when she doesn't. It's like she's always believed in me. I want to do everything I can to live up to that faith. Aspen sticks around for a while, reading a book from one of the shelves. I keep my nose to the grindstone all morning, using every free minute that I get to practice, only taking a break to say goodbye to Aspen when she leaves. Even when it gets boring, which doesn't take very long, and even after my hand starts to hurt, I keep practicing. One letter at a time, I'll get there. Alright, let us save the game here. I feel sorry for the tour guy. I can't remember his name, like Mr. Lee or something like that. Like, we didn't get to sort of like talk with him, so I'm guessing that means we're not going to see him anymore. Because the game makes you choose between different people to talk to early on. Ah, well. Early in the afternoon, my phone buzzes as I get a call. I check it, expecting to see Juliet or Aspen, but I'm surprised and not surprised when I see that it's Lena.
Hello?
Miho, I need your help. It's an emergency.
What? What's wrong?
Come to the park! I'll tell you there!
Signed us up for a new program. Get to it! The call ends when Lena hangs up. I have no clue what's going on, but it sounds serious. I put on my shoes and hurry to the park as fast as I can. When I get there, I quickly spot Lena, her bright pink outfit making it easy.
Lena, what's happening?
Oh, Mio, good thing you're here. It's a disaster. Cyrus asked me to be in a play with him.
A play? Wait, that's it?
What do you mean, that's it?
I need to practice my lines!
I thought you were hurt or something. You said it was an emergency.
It is! I have to give him my answer soon.
Say yes! I sigh and force myself to come down to Lena's level. I was expecting to find out someone was hurt, so I'm just relieved that that's not the case.
Okay, I don't get it. Why is that such a bad thing? I thought you wanted to spend time with him.
I do, but that's a lot of responsibility. He wants me to play Siegfried, and he'd be the White Swan.
Ooh, interesting.
I don't know the characters, but that seems a little backwards. Are you afraid you can't do it?
It's not backwards, it's just not traditional.
Sort of. I'm afraid that if something went wrong, that'd ruin any chance I have.
Seeing Lena be so nervous about something is the total opposite of what I'd normally expect from her. Even during the other activities we tried, she always gave it her all.
When do you have to give him an answer?
Today! That's why it's an emergency!
Whoa, can't you tell him you need longer to think about it?
When you gotta like audition and practice and all that, right?
Well, it's already been a while. I thought I'd make up my mind by now, but I still haven't. What do you think I should do?
Say yes! Just then, I noticed Cyrus himself walking up the path towards us.
Oh, there he is.
Lena turns to see him and looks back to me with fright.
I'm out of time!
She tries to put on a cool face as Cyrus reaches the two of us.
Hi there. Sorry to bug you, Lena, but have you decided yet?
Not yet. Still thinking about it, sorry!
It's already been a week.
Nuh-uh, not for another 43 minutes. Then it'll have been a week.
She's got you there. Both Cyrus and I just stare at her.
Can you make up your mind in the next 43 minutes?
You bet I can!
She said, lying through her teeth.
Okay, I'll just stand here.
Wait, for real?
Do I look like I'm joking?
I'm a tree man. I'm good at standing still.
I can never really tell.
Cyrus sighs.
Look, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But I need to know so I can ask someone else. I already have someone cast for all the other main roles. It's just Siegfried and a couple extras that are left.
Finally, he looks at me.
Sorry to interrupt your conversation.
It's okay. We were just talking about you.
Can I be one of the extras?
Wait, you know who I am?
Yeah, we've met before. We were partners at that painting class.
Huh. I was trying to remember who I was paired up with. I have the picture I made, but it didn't really help much.
Yeah, I have this magic where people forget about me after a day if I don't talk.
Oh, shit.
Really? I think I have that too, except it's not magic.
Yeah, I have this magic where people forget about me after a day if I don't talk to them again.
I put my hand on the spacebar there. I've had to explain this so many times by now that it just feels normal to talk about.
How do you and Lena know each other then?
We do a vid call every day. I talk about my life, and Miho talks about hers.
It's mostly Lena talking. So far, that's only really half true, but I don't mind.
I see. Say, Miho, right? How would you feel about being a tree?
Ooh, this is my road to stardom.
A tree.
Yeah, in the play, I mean. There's still a couple small parts like that I need to fill.
Does the tree talk? Because if it doesn't talk, then couldn't you do this with the prop?
Oh!
Lena's face lights up with excitement.
If you do it, I'll do it!
Wait.
My immediate reaction is to say no. Being up on a stage in front of people is still a lot for me, no matter how much better I've gotten at talking. But it seems like it would be helping out Lena, and Cyrus too.
What would I have to do?
Stand there. Haven't you seen a tree before?
I'm looking at one right now. Okay, yeah, you know what, you are standing there.
That's it.
That's it?
I sigh the heaviest sigh of my life. I hope I don't regret this.
Fine.
Both of them perk up, and I see an actual smile on Cyrus's face for maybe the first time ever.
Cool. I appreciate it.
Got kind of a cute, slight smile there with his closed eyes.
We're gonna be great! You're gonna be the best tree in the play!
Rehearsal starts soon. I'll send you both the info. I guess I'll need to talk to you every day too, right?
Yeah, otherwise you'd have to ask me every time.
Oh! Let's make a group chat!
Lena instantly pulls out her phone and starts tapping.
I'm not sure.
Done!
I feel my phone shake in my pocket, and I see Cyrus check his as well.
I guess that works.
Yay! Buddies!
Anyway, thanks, both of you. See you at rehearsal.
See ya!
Bye.
Cyrus takes off, leaving Lena and I by ourselves.
Thanks as well. I feel a lot better having someone else I know be there.
No prob. Although, I'm not so sure about being in front of a crowd. Plus, all the other actors will forget who I am unless I talk to them too.
Maybe we can make a really big group chat.
Oh, this is getting troublesome.
Well, I'm sure it'll be fine if you're just gonna be an extra. It'd be a bigger problem if you were gonna have a speaking role.
Yeah, that's true. Have you ever been in a play before?
Not since I was in school, but I know the story and the part, so it should be okay. Now that I've decided, I'm gonna do my best.
I'm doing my part. Now she seems more like the Lena I know. Fiery and full of energy. That was a surprisingly easy emergency to deal with. Yeah, better than an actual emergency, right?
In fact, I'm gonna go start practicing. See you soon!
See ya! I wave goodbye as Lena leaves. I'm not entirely sure what I've gotten myself into, but I guess I'll find out soon enough. Alright. Anyway, looking at the time, I think I'll pause things here for the day and wrap things up, because seems like a decent spot to sort of end on, with that little side story getting started there with the play. Hopefully, we'll be able to do some more next week, though I'm not quite sure what my schedule will be like, so we'll have to see. I'll try and make some time though. Yeah, see ya. All right. So, hopefully that was something that everyone enjoyed. I know I was glad to get back into the game, and definitely looking forward after some more Please Be Happy as well. All right. Now, let's go and raid somebody, shall we? Okay. Let's go and raid. Us raid Christiania Storm. Christiania's raided me previously, so I'd like to go and return the favor. Oh, no? Alright. We'll go and raid the Astral Hammer. Alright, give me a moment. Let's raid the Astral Hammer. There we go. I've raided the Astral Hammer before. Oh well, we'll find out, won't we? Okay, what's Astral Hammer doing at the moment? Ghostwire Tokyo. Alrighty then. So, tomorrow we are doing our Discord event. That's going to be a little bit earlier than normal. It's going to be an hour earlier because it is going to be running late. Well, running long rather. It's not going to be running late anymore because I bumped it forward. And on Saturday, we will be playing some Super Robot Wars Cross. Look forward to that. Okay? So, thank you very much as always, and I hope to see you all next time. Okay? See ya!